All right, well, hello. It's the Ground Sloth here, and we are doing Coco Video Guide Part 3. And this one, we're going to go over Coco's trait. Now, this is a 1-star Coco, mind you. I mean, I just got her the other day. All right, I'm not some sort of like crazy whale. Okay, I am not Moby Dick. Okay. Anyways, so first thing first, Coco possesses block. Okay, and if you don't know what block is a 50% chance to face the enemy when taking physical damage from the front or the side. And when you do so, you decrease your damage taken by 20%. Pretty standard on a lot of defenders, right? I would say almost exclusively to the defender class. This does not mean they will always have it though. Okay. Kind of like seekers don't. Not all. Every seeker has jump, for instance. Okay. So, but most of the time, defenders will have block. Now, in addition to that, at the start of each round, she grants breakfast to the ally with the lowest HP percentage within 2 tiles of herself. Okay. Breakfast is at the start of the turn, recovers 15% HP and dispels a debuff. Or bento, which is, I believe, a Japanese sort of lunch meal. Okay, like a bento box. So it's like breakfast or lunch. And they decided to go with bento instead of saying lunch. Because why not use English and then use Japanese? Heck if I know. Although in America, bento is a sort of like Japanese loan word in a way. So when we see a bento, we call it a bento because it's a bento, right? So in that regard, I guess she makes a bento box for people for lunch, and right. So it's both lunch and bento. Anyways. So that bento is a more heartier meal, and it gives you a 25%, okay, HP percent, and dispels 2 debuffs. So let's go over how you get these buffs. Breakfast, the only way to get breakfast is at the start of the round, okay? So I am on the Seeker Medal trial because defenders have a bonus against Seekers. We also brought our friend Xavier. Say hello, Xavier. Hello, Xavier. Yep. So, essentially, Xavier's going to get beat up by some Seekers, and then we're going to have to support him. Now, so let's go ahead and do that, and we'll find out what breakfast looks like and what bento looks like. Okay? So let's go ahead and just stand by. Xavier just had a bit of an HP increase right there. It was well, not increase, but more like a heal. Now, he got breakfast earlier. So, he was standing right behind her. Let's put her right in front. Him right in front. Okay, round 2. Coco gave Xavier breakfast. Now, of the 2 units, Xavier has the least HP. Okay. So he got breakfast, and as you can see, there's an icon similar to the regeneration icon. He does recover a percentage of his max HP. Okay. Now for bento, you get this from Iron Pot Stew. Coco, so this is the only way you can get bento. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do it. We'll go over Iron Pot Stew in its own video as we do. Okay, we like to do a video per skill, and some skills will go quick, and some skills are more involved for characters, right? So we'll go ahead and do an Iron Pot Stew for Xavier. Okay, and as you can see, it was kind of cool. I think Coco got a slab of meat, and Xavier got some like a wheel of cheese, I think. We got two different types of food. um, now, it's Xavier's turn, and I think all his bento and his breakfast occurred because it's no longer on him. So we should have seen some heals. Let's go ahead and move backtrack that again. Okay. Let's go ahead and make that food again, and then we'll see Xavier. Watch Xavier and his HP. Notice that he got two heals. Okay, so there was the initial heal from her cooking the food, but then Xavier got two heals on the start of his turn. That means it is possible for Coco. Okay, let's put Coco back, Xavier. It's possible to have both a breakfast and a bento, okay, all in one go. Is that dinner? I don't know. I'm going to call it dinner, right? So breakfast by itself is 15%. Bento is 25% heal. But I'm going to call it dinner. Wait, brunch. Brunch? Because it's both breakfast and lunch. Brunch. But it's not lunch. It's bento. Should we call it Brento? Should we call it Benfast? Bentfast? Bentfast? That sounds horrible. Bentfast? It sounds like it broke something. Wait, but break fast? You do break. You're fast. So we bent it this time. We didn't break it. We bent it. I don't know. Essentially, though, that is a 40% HP heal. Okay? So, if at the start of her turn, she puts a breakfast on someone, you'll see that scrambled egg. She puts a scrambled egg above your head. She goes, here, take it. Okay? Keep note of who has breakfast and who doesn't have breakfast. And it's at the start of the other character's turn, so you have an opportunity to stack like a bento on top of that breakfast. So in addition to giving Xavier an egg, you can give him a whole wheel of cheese or some meat or what other thing she's got going on in there. And it will heal him for 40% of his HP at the start of his turn. In addition to dispelling 3 debuffs, because 1 for breakfast, 2 for bento. Okay? Now I don't think we've seen this happen just yet. But the last part, come on. No Butterfingers. The last part is what goes up when you get her up to 5-star. And this is what a lot of people say, man, this is really, really good at 5-star. And I agree. Happiness. There's only a 30% chance to proc this from 1 to 4-star. So again, like 1 to 4-star, we have our 30%. But at 5-star, it's a magic 100% of the time. They really like backloaded this character's power level instead of doing it in increments. We'll go over what happens through all the star stages. But essentially, like it's just her getting more of an HP boost because her trait gives her an increase in HP, essentially, right? Starting off at like 10%, like going up to 20%. Let's go ahead and take a look at the battlefield and see if we can proc some happiness, right? It doesn't look like Xavier has got any sort of happiness with him. I mean, look at his face. Do you see that face? That's not a happy face. I mean, he's like, oh man, I gotta step on this trap now and just waste my turn. I know I'm gonna get hit by one of these seekers. See? He is not a happy man. Now, you saw that there was that heal. That heal was from that card over there. Xavier was actually in range for that. So let's actually backtrack a bit. Because we don't want... What's the range on this thing? 5 tiles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't want this to affect our results at all. So let's do this again. Okay, give him some meat. He still had 2 instances of HP increase right there. So we were correct. It wasn't due to that like card, which was what I was worried about. Okay. No happiness. That's two chances at a 30% roll, and it didn't happen, unfortunately. Well, we're just gonna have to keep going, I guess. We're just gonna stand by. Yep, I'm just gonna wait. Ow. Ow. He's not happy, folks. So her trait is within 2 tiles, right? Xavier should have a breakfast. See? So he's got a breakfast, but that's not going to be enough, I don't think. Unfortunately for him. We'll stand by, though. Is he happy? He said he's not very cheerful, is what he said. I actually spoke something in Mandarin, but what I heard was, I'm not very cheerful. That's what I heard. I know you heard it too. I'm not very cheerful. We'll go ahead and even the odds there. Wait, why didn't he spin? Well, that's unfortunate. Are you happy? She's happy. Why are you happy? Your friend died. You are a horrible person. Okay, so, well, she's happy though. So happiness. For all skills, reduces energy consumption by 1. After use, reduces the cooldown by 1. This effect is removed after performing any action. So, any action. What does any action mean? If I do nothing, does that count as any action? Let's find out. And yes, it's gone. So that does mean that so it's just going to last, and you either have the opportunity to make use of it or you lose that opportunity. Okay? And if you have no skills that have a skill cooldown, it's just going to whiff on that aspect of it. But it does reduce the cost of skills by 1, which in of itself is pretty nice. So, yeah. It's pretty self-explanatory. Let's go ahead and go back. She does have her happiness because Xavier died, obviously. She was like, I never liked him anyway. What? Right? And you can tell she's happy because unlike Xavier, look at that face. Look at it. Look at that face right there. Xavier was not happy. Coco was. Okay. Anyways. So yeah. So that's the thing. Right? Let's and notice here, these skills are now modified. Okay? Another clue that we have happiness. Right? This now costs 2. This now costs 2 with a cooldown of 2. Okay, so you can even see what the modifications look like. They'll be in green. Okay? Alrighty. Well, that's that for that battle. Let's go ahead and jump right back to the status screen. Okay, here we are. So this is what 1 star looks like. No percentage in HP, 10%. Then she can give her breakfast to 2 characters instead of 1, 20%, and then guaranteed happiness. Okay, well that's gonna be the video. Okay, I'm like appalled by Coco's actions there. I think she's happy that like she's getting her own video guide series, and Xavier was the my personal favorite. So she's got it in for him, I think. don't let her happy bunny eared looks fool you. All right, until the next video, bye guys.